Last week we have talked about how finding your gold nugget mobile robots provider, but now your biggest challenge is
Your boss.
convincing your boss. And that's why we dedicate this whole episode on sharing our experiences on how to do so and how to make him sign a contract.
Automation Awakenings, your weekly dose of best practices for logistics automation.
Welcome to the 10th episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast, still from our hotel room studio and still with Oliver Zuchowski.
Yes, thank you very much, Matthias. Welcome also to you. And we are still on our business trip, and I'm happy to record this episode with you today.
Right, and today we would like to help you guys to find your punchline on convincing your boss to invest in automation technology, in particular to invest in mobile robots. And we collected a bunch of ideas and also experiences that helped us in the past. And we're now going to share these gold nuggets, I call them, with you so that you can successfully start your automation journey. Because one is for sure, you're going to need senior management buy-in to do so.
Yes, so we assume you are already convinced. And now, what should you do that also your boss will be as convinced as you? And I would kick it off with a very important question. Why should I start with mobile robots?
Exactly. So present a strategic need. And what I always think works best is using some studies, for example, right? So do not try to explain all of the reasons by yourself, but try to pull some really nice reports that are out there. Like, for example, the McKinsey Unlocking the Potential of Automation study, like the STIQ, AGV, and AMR report, and really pinpoint your business you are in and compare the figures from competitors in your business with your current automation level. That's always a very good first punch to start.
Exactly. And I think this is crucial to connect this information from external sources with your needs internally. Yeah. So what might be you have productivity targets you want to achieve. You are facing shortage of labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to increase safety in your environment. And if you make it there, if you successfully connect these external information and possibilities with your internal pains or targets, you already can answer the why very nicely.
Correct. So yeah, make sure to connect the dots between what your competitors do, what you do, and how this automation technology could help you to reach your manager's targets in terms of different KPIs that might be out there.
Yes, we're still flying high now, and it's important for senior management. But Matthias, how can I get now from this high level to the real concrete level?
Yeah. So you probably have been to a fair
Yeah.
or you have talked to some suppliers, and I really recommend to have a very clear understanding of what and which use case you would like to tackle. So really be as specific as you can, describe the use case, and describe the mobile robot you would like to use, and then also highlight why you want to use this robot. So list some advantages, and in the best case, also list some experiences from other customers that are already using this bot.
Yes, the issue is, and this is what we also face with our projects, sometimes you have so many ideas and you don't know where to start. Which one is the best fitting use case?
Yeah.
So which one should I pick to present it to my boss? All of them?
As always, I would recommend to go with the easy use cases first. So look for your low-hanging fruits and start with the low-hanging fruits, because you will, or your chances of being successful with these use cases are very, very high. And once you convince your boss with a good project, with a successful project, all the argumentation in the future will be so much easier.
Just make sure that this fruit is not too small, right? Because then you will have the question, yeah, but then is it really worth it? So of course there must be a certain threshold, yeah, of this fruit. But if it's like good enough, then of course we recommend to start with something nice and easy. The very typical example is floor-to-floor transport of a pallet, for example.
Yeah. You're talking about the threshold, Oli. Could you provide our listeners better understanding what you consider of being a valid threshold?
Yeah, well, to understand your threshold in your company, you need to know the costs of this use case, how much I am paying for that. And these are, of course, labor costs, but it might be also there might be other costs involved. I mean, there might be electricity, there might be some safety issues, maintenance topics for your old devices. So consider all of that, and then compare it with the actual cost of these projects. Hopefully you have already some first indication from the exhibition you went to. And here, please, you don't need 100% exact numbers. A rough estimation is completely enough for this first evaluation. And for me, the threshold is very easy. If I'm getting my money back latest after 2 years that I have to invest, I would consider it as an interesting project.
So Oli is saying an automation project always then is successful or interesting if the high fly or draft return on invest is less than 2 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very very clear, and I can confirm that this is something that I have seen a lot. So below 2 years is really good, and that's something most of the managers really like to go with.
Yes, absolutely.
So now some of the managers are also very concerned about their employees, about the workforce, and obviously the robot will have a negative effect on them, which means that some of the employees will have to be retrained or maybe even fired.
Yes, and here it's important to address these concerns, questions, and risks your boss might have. Yeah, so you should have a plan for these employees. Will they be qualified in another way? Will they be key users for the mobile robots, or should they be moved to a different function, for example? You should have the answers ready before presenting it.
Totally. So this is gonna back up your argumentation line, and it's gonna cover this flank that is maybe the social or moral responsibility that your boss will feel in this situation.
Yes.
Right. What else do we have?
Yeah, well, I have a strong question which might help you a lot. What will happen if I don't do anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a typical question from managers. If everything remains like it is this bad at all, or maybe we can survive?
Yeah.
So show what are the impacts of not doing anything.
Yeah.
If we keep to our old stuff, doing the maintenance, paying a lot for maybe incidents, safety issues, and if what is the impact of the shortage of labor at the moment in your company, and these might be very strong points to convince him or her.
Do you know what I'm gonna discuss now, because that's one of my favorite topics.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's the risk of inaction.
Yeah, the second ROI, right?
The second ROI, but not the return on invest, the risk of inaction. And actually, I believe that the risk of inaction will become way more important in terms of automation projects than the return on invest, because we've been facing a lot of labor shortage. We've been facing pandemics, and all of that is not really helping with the resilience of your supply chain. But automation technology does. So yeah, make sure you cover this point. Make sure you bring your boss on board and make him understand that it's all about staying competitive and survive in the end as a company.
Yes, absolutely.
Any additional points, Olli?
Yes, I have another hint for you. Because everything looks nice on the slides and seems to be working, but usually these managers, they have a lot of experience and they want to see it somewhere in an operative environment. Is this really working at all? And best case, you can find a reference customer similar to you, right? To your environment, your shop floor, maybe warehouse. And if you can find it, visit this customer together with your boss to see it running, to see the devices live.
That's such a good idea, actually. I didn't think about it, but now I remember that we've been doing this a lot with my managers, and that's always the best selling point. Just take him somewhere where this technology or robot or whatever is already in place. Let him see it in the physical world on the shop floor. Let him talk to the customers and really provide him the option to also, create a own feeling, to create a own understanding for the topic.
Yes, because what is the biggest fear of this boss? That he will spend a lot of money and it will not work. Yeah, the robots will not work. You will have a lot of trouble with them, and it will be a very bad experience. So
Right.
you can mitigate these risks by showing it, hey, actually, it is working in an environment which is similar to us. And usually what happens then, they say, I want to have this as well in my company,
Yeah.
right?
Because the others are also having it.
Yeah, you have to understand these managers. I mean, you've been to the fair, you've seen the robots in action, but the manager didn't.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just so human, right? Provide a chance for them to also go and, get a hold on the topic and create their own opinion, not only based on facts, which is all nice, but really going and seeing, smelling, feeling, touching, it's such
Emotions.
a good decision-making strategy.
Exactly. I think we touched really good topics today to how convince your boss to go for mobile robots. Do you have something else?
No, I think this list is already quite extensive. And as with everything else in life, just really try to focus on the most important topics. I think we shared those, and these ones should already be a help for you guys to convince your bosses and managers out there.
Absolutely. So start with the why. Why is it important to do the project?
Then continue with describing the particular use case where you would like to use the bot, and also provide information on the hardware and on the solution that you would use.
Then take care of both of the ROIs. First, the return on invest. When will I get my money back? And the second ROI.
The risk of inaction. So show to your boss what will happen if you do not do anything, and stress the fact that you might run into shortage of labor, into pandemics, and into a low resilience of your supply chain, combined with a less or a lower competitiveness.
Yes, then address also the risks and questions your boss might have already during your pitch.
Perfect. And then make sure you find another customer who is already using this solution. In the best case, this customer is from a similar business with a similar conditions that you have. So make an appointment with them, take your boss, and let him feel it, see it, smell it, which will help him so much to take his decision.
Yeah, and with all of that, your boss will be convinced. We are sure.
We wish you a lot of luck, a lot of, a lot of success when talking to your boss. But you are equipped with all the informations you need, and we are happy to have you on board. We are happy to have you as a listener for this episode. We would be even happier if you tune in next Monday again. So thanks for listening. Take care. Tschüss. And goodbye.
Hear you next Monday. Bye-bye.
This was another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Visit us at automation-awakenings.com.